What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer update. In this video, we're going to be speaking about Leroy Sane, who is officially now no longer a Manchester City player. We'll mention that in more detail. We've also got some interesting updates in the form of David Alaba, Thiago and Kalidou Koulibaly for everyone to stay tuned for. But before we crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, you want to help support my channel, then subscribe, press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. I'm aiming for 7,000 subscribers at the time of recording this video. We're now less than 200 subscribers away, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Don't forget also you can find my social media links in the description below and popping up on screen if you want to go and search for me and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. You can also find my email in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any business inquiries. We're going to be running daily Manchester City transfer updates when the transfer window does indeed open, but I'm getting that much news that I seem to be running near enough daily Manchester City transfer updates, so there we go. Don't forget also leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. We aimed for 220 likes. We fell just short in my last video of that goal. Thanks everyone for the continued support. So let's go for it again. 220 likes. Let's see if we can get there. I think we're falling 19 short, so really close. Let's see if we can get the 220 likes for this video. And don't forget also leave your thoughts of these transfers in the comments below. So let's crack on with this video. We're going to start off with the outs first, and we're going to speak about Gabriel Jesus. Now, ESPN in Brazil have been saying that Juventus, they are taking a serious look at Gabriel Jesus and possibly trying to sign him for this summer. Juventus, they've already spent big on Arthur bringing him in from Barcelona. However, Barcelona, as part of that deal, brought in Pjanic. And because of that, it means Barcelona and Juventus both haven't really spent big. And so Juventus can still flex and spend the cash. And it's been reported by ESPN in Brazil that Gabriel Jesus could be that player that they choose to splash the cash on, as they're looking for a long-term replacement for Gonzalo Higuain. So could it be Gabriel Jesus? I do not know. All my indications are telling me, though, is that Gabriel Jesus will still be a Manchester City player come next season. If they wanted to prize him away from Manchester City, it's not the Leroy Sane situation anymore, where a contract's running down. You know, Gabriel Jesus has still got a few years left on his contract. They're going to have to pay big for him. Whether Jesus, if we get that Champions League ban or not, what he decides to do with his future, I do not know. A lot of City players will have their futures to decide if they're going to be handed a 2-year Champions League ban. We'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping that a lot of the players are enjoying their time at City and will choose to stay. Gabriel Jesus is one player that's been tutored that he might not do, so what would you sell Jesus for if the right offer came in? I would be looking, honestly, for north of £100 million. Now we've got an update for Leroy Sane. More than likely going to be my last ever mentioning of Leroy Sane in a Manchester City transfer update, which mixed emotions. I'm happy about, because I no longer have to talk about this saga that I've been talking about for well over a year. On the other side, we've lost a class player in Leroy Sane, and seeing him in the red of Bayern Munich just didn't feel right when I saw it yesterday. I mentioned it on my live stream. You can go and check that out, by the way. That is up on my channel for that Liverpool emphatic win, which I'm sure everybody is delighted about this morning. But it just didn't feel right, and it hurt. It hurt when I saw it. It hurts now that I have to report it. But it is what it is. And at the end of the day, Leroy Sane wanted to leave Manchester City, and any player that wants to leave are free to leave as long as we get the right offer, and that is what has happened here. So Leroy Sane yesterday travelled to Bayern Munich to go undergo his medical and do personal terms. He's completed his medical. I think it was done in 2 parts. He's signed his contract. They've had all the photos taken, and these pictures were leaked just before Manchester City took on Liverpool yesterday. Man City were very unhappy about this, and Bayern Munich have apologised, and that has summarised for me the whole saga with Leroy Sane and how it's been handled by Bayern Munich. And it's just, I'd say unprofessional is what I'll say. I'll leave it at that. Unprofessional. But anyway, he signed a 5-year contract. It's a €60 million deal. Signed, sealed, delivered. He is a Bayern Munich player. He will resume training for Bayern Munich next week. We will not be seeing Leroy Sane in a Manchester City shirt ever again. I imagine he's going to come back to England for the next week, pack up all his stuff, move everyone that he wants to over to Germany to his new home in Munich, and that will be that. So I said it many times, and this is me doing it. I wanted to wish Leroy Sane the best of luck on his next chapter in his life, and I wish him all the success that he has at Bayern Munich, and I hope he has a successful career there. He's a wonderful football player. Lots of people will be speaking about his attitude and etc, etc. All I see is a young player who's a fantastic player, needs to mature. He's got all the potential to be a wonderful football player. What's his fitness like after the injury? I do not know. That's now Bayern Munich's problem. But try to say the best of luck to Leroy Sane on his move to Bayern Munich. But we move on instead. We've got an update on Angelino. Now, Kicker in Germany reporting that Red Bull Leipzig, they're still confident of signing Angelino this summer, but they're reporting that they want him on loan and not a permanent deal, which I found quite odd. This has been contradicted by other sources in Germany, by the way, but I've not really got a problem with Angelino being loaned again next season to Red Bull Leipzig, as long as there's no longer an option for them to buy him. It is an obligation to buy rather than an option to buy is what I'd be looking for. And so I'd still be looking at roughly around the 22-23 million euro mark for him. I'd be more than happy with that. Obviously a year less on his contract, but also I'd like a sell-on fee attached to it. He's a wonderful football player, and so potentially could be heading out on loan. And if he's heading out on loan and there is no obligation to buy, I'm going to be very disappointed, because I'm confident right now in this market, City could pick up 22 to 23 million euro, maybe not from Leipzig, but from other clubs, because Angelino is a wonderful football player. Outstanding success he's had in Germany this since January, so I'd be amazed if there wasn't interest there. Apparently, they're still way apart on the fee. Leipzig, I'm just not sure, can afford Angelino this summer, so it is a situation that City need to sort out. So it could be a loan with an obligation to buy, give Leipzig another year, or City could just simply sell to another club. What I do want, though, is a permanent transfer sorted for Angelino so he can sort out his future, because I think we've all accepted now that his future isn't at Manchester City, and whilst he's a wonderful football player, and I would like his future to be here, he just doesn't suit our formation. It's as simple as that. Doesn't suit our style of playing formation, but he does suit it at Leipzig, and so I'm hoping something will get sorted for the sake of Angelino. Now, last update for the outs, and it comes in the form of Claudio Bravo. Now, Sports Witness, and they've claimed this very confidently, so I wonder if there is an element of truth in this, but they're claiming that Claudio Bravo, he has come to a whole agreement with Besiktas in Turkey for a permanent free transfer to start for next season. Not got any more details on it other than that. I'm not too sure on how reliable this information is either. They just seem very confident that this, what they were speaking about, was fact. So, we'll wait and see. Anyway, we've got an update on Jadon Sancho now, moving on to the ins. And Pep has confirmed in his pre-match press conference with Liverpool he will not be making a move for Jadon Sancho this summer. He said that he only left a couple of seasons ago. Why on earth would he want to come back? He just doesn't understand it. Dortmund are believed to be looking, they've lowered that £117 million price tag. They're now looking at around £100 million, of course. City do get a 15% sell-on fee attached to that, and so City could, well, if they wanted to sign Jadon Sancho, could sign him for £85 million. Interestingly, Manchester United are not prepared to go any higher than £50 million in today's economic climate with what's happened with the pandemic, and I believe there is room for negotiations, and I do believe that perhaps it could be negotiated that Jadon Sancho could be picked up for even as low as around £60 to £70 million with City's 15% sell-on fee attached to that. So I'm not too sure. If he was available for that price, I'd be quite disappointed if City weren't making a move for Jadon Sancho, considering we just picked up €60 million for Leroy Sane. We've got a good replacement in Sancho, a homegrown player as well. He's an exceptional football player. I would love him back. I'd say it's unlikely, and Pep confirming that it is going to be unlikely, but there we go. Now, we've got an update on David Alaba. He's still not signed a new contract at Bayern Munich. Pep apparently is keen. He can play left-back, can play centre-back, can also play defensive midfield too. He's versatile. It's everything that Pep would be looking for. He's worked with Pep before as well, and I can see why Pep Guardiola would be interested in the Austrian international. Now, according to The Guardian, Manchester City are taking a good look at David Alaba. Now, Bayern Munich aren't going to want to sell David Alaba. He's a fantastic football player, but with his contract running down, they may want to do what they're going to do with Thiago and cash in this summer. But it seems to me like Thiago's more likely to leave this summer, I would say, than what David Alaba is. Now, David Alaba, fantastic football player, would be my ideal signing for Manchester City because he ticks lots of boxes. Can play left-back, can play centre-back, so it means if we bring in a top-class centre-back, then we're covered for the defence, because Alaba can play left-back and centre-back as well. So we've got some great options there. But it's all about Bayern Munich's reluctance to sell here. Alaba is getting older. I imagine they'll still want a big fee for him because he's a wonderful football player at the end of the day. I'm not too sure how much they'd be looking for, but I can imagine with how Bayern Munich handled the situation with Leroy Sane that they'd be looking for roughly around the same price for David Alaba as what we've paid for Leroy Sane, and City aren't just not going to do that. Alaba is a lot older than Leroy Sane. The argument against it is that Alaba's played a full season this season, whereas Sane hasn't. So I'm not too sure what's going to be happening with the price, but it is something there that is keeping me interested, that I'll keep my eyes out for future development. Instead, we're going to move on. We've got an update on a new name, Antoine Griezmann, the Barcelona attacker. He struggled a little bit in Catalonia this season. Now, apparently Manchester City and Manchester United are interested, according to Mundo Deportivo, a source in Spain. But they are reporting that Barcelona do not want to sell Antoine Griezmann this summer. Apparently, City and United have made an inquiry, and Barcelona has just rebuffed that straight away and said, no, he isn't for sale. Now, if he was for sale, I can imagine Barcelona wanting to get back as much money as possible for what they paid Atletico Madrid for his signature. So I reckon you'd be looking at a big transfer fee, 80 to 100 million pounds, maybe a little bit less with a pandemic hitting, but I just don't see him being sold this summer. I do find it interesting though that we are being linked with him. It's not really the type of signing that City would make. Griezmann's a shirt seller. He's a big name in football. It's kind of how I see Manchester United doing their business, not Manchester City. It's not how we've done things over the last 10 seasons. We don't spend big on proven football players. We've not done that for 10 seasons or over. City like to sign younger football players that are really good football players and turn them into exceptional football players, and they like to buy them relatively young as well, rather than entering into their prime. So it's not really how we do business, but it is exactly how Manchester United like to do theirs. Now we've got an update on Achraf Hakimi, and I'm afraid it isn't good news. He has joined Inter Milan from Real Madrid for €40 million plus €5 million in add-on, so €45 million deal, so roughly just around £40 million or so, which to me, if Kinsella was to leave and we could have picked up roughly around £40 million, Hakimi would have been a great option, and so we've missed out instead. But if Cancelo stays, we don't need a right back, so I'm not too bothered. However, if Cancelo does leave at some point this summer, we have missed out on a class right back in Hakimi, who we could have picked up, it seems, for a good price. But there we go. He is a right back. He spent the last 2 seasons out on loan at Borussia Dortmund, who have also now missed out on a right back. But they have already signed one, bringing in the lad from PSG, so there we go, swings and roundabouts. Got a little bit of an update on Kalidou Koulibaly. It's not a transfer update unless we've got an update on Kalidou Koulibaly, is it really? Now, Jack Gaughan of the Daily Mail has been reporting on a podcast that Koulibaly is very much on Manchester City's agenda, and he has claimed that Koulibaly is extremely keen on his switch to Manchester City this summer. We know that Napoli are looking for around €90 million. We know City are prepared to go as high as roughly around €70 million, so 20 million short. There could be a player exchanged if Napoli are interested. They are difficult negotiators, and it's one of those that will take some time to negotiate, but with us picking up that €60 million deal with Leroy Sane, it does help us a little bit when we're wanting to spend a lot of money on bringing in a centre-back, so it does help that Sane deal has been done relatively quickly. That was just a small update on Kalidou Koulibaly. Now, we've got an update on a new name. Someone I mentioned in my live stream yesterday, Digne of Everton. Apparently, Manchester City and Chelsea have identified Digne as their alternative option to Ben Chilwell. Leicester are believed to be looking at £75 million for Chilwell, and I firmly believe that that price can be negotiated. I reckon Chilwell could be picked up for between £50 and £60 million. Lots of people aren't keen, but he is homegrown. That should John Stones leave Manchester City, we will need to sign a homegrown player. That could either come in the form of a backup centre-back in Nathan Ake, or if we're looking for a left-back, then Ben Chilwell would make sense. But it does need to be for the right price. And so City and Chelsea making alternative plans, and Digne seems to be an option for both Chelsea and Manchester City. I can't imagine Digne coming that cheap though, so there we go. Now, we've got a small update on Leon Bailey. This is interesting as well. Sky Sports have been saying that Leon Bailey, he's been in contact with Raheem Sterling. He's speaking with him and the agency that Raheem Sterling's also associated with, as he's seeking a move to the Premier League this season. His friendship and willingness to work with Raheem Sterling, in my opinion, does give Leon Bailey the edge on joining Manchester City, but it's all about if Manchester City want to sign Leon Bailey. If not, there are plenty of other clubs in the Premier League that are interested in bringing in Leon Bailey. Bailey. Liverpool's been mentioned, Manchester United's been mentioned, and more realistically Everton have also been mentioned. And apparently I've heard people are saying like 25, 30 to 40 million euro for Leon Bailey. So I firmly believe that Bailey could be picked up on a good deal that would be looking at somewhere between 30 to around 40 million pounds is what we'd be looking for. Apparently Manchester City, along with Everton, along with Manchester United and Liverpool as well, have sent scouts out for this weekend's German Cup final, which is featuring Bayer Leverkusen, and they are scouting Leon Bailey potentially. So where will Leon Bailey end up? Let me know in the comments below. And lastly in the video, got a short update on Thiago. It's been reported overnight by Sport in Germany that Bayern Munich are looking for roughly around 35 million euro for the Spanish central midfielder. He's refused to sign a new deal at Bayern Munich. He's got 1 year left on his contract. Liverpool are firm favourites to sign him. It's been reported overnight that they've got personal terms agreed for Thiago. Manchester City are second favourites to bring him in. City have been having a look at Thiago, but they are focusing their priorities on defensive reinforcements for this summer, and so they're putting wingers and central midfielders to the back burner. And if Thiago does end up joining Liverpool or somebody else that isn't Manchester City, then it does seem like if City want to make a move for a central midfielder, then it seems like it may well be either Husam, Aura or Benesa would be an option, or if they want to go down the homegrown route, then possibly out wide McNeil could be an option, along with Jack Grealish is where we're heading at this moment in time. So there we go, that's been the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy this video, leave a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed this video. Aiming for 220 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Leave your thoughts in the comments below for these transfers too. Don't forget, go and check out my live stream that I did yesterday of that emphatic 4-0 Manchester City win that we got against Liverpool with my live watch-along reaction of the game. Don't forget also subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. Aiming for 7k subscribers, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. My social media links in the description below and popping up on screen too if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And I'll see you all again for the next video. I'm sure everyone is smiling this morning with the win that Manchester City picked up against Liverpool. Fantastic win. Really enjoying doing the content. I'll see you all again very soon for the next Manchester City video and transfer update, which will more than likely be tomorrow. So I'll see you then. So I've been JSGC. Hope you'll have a wonderful rest of your day. Hope everyone is safe and well too. Peace. Ciao for now.